What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back to tell you what I think about AOM's balance and the direction Age of Mythology Retold should go. To start with, I must say that this is completely opinionated and far from solid fact, though I do feel like I have some sort of authority on the matter due to the sheer amount of games I've watched, but I do accept that my own bias will shine through because of my own gameplay experiences. If you are unaware, there have been two quote-unquote official attempts to balance Age Mythology since the closure of the official Ensemble Studios Online's servers, and therefore we have three different balance patches to draw from. The original was the 1.03 patch published way back in 2005 by Ensemble Studios. The 2.8 patch on Extended Edition was published in 2020 by, I believe, Forgotten Empires. And finally, Voobly's most recent 5.0 patch released in 2021 with a lot of the high-level community players involved in it. So what are the differences and what makes the most sense for competitive play? Well, let's go in chronological order. So in Ensemble Studios Online time, ESO for short, no one really knew what was good or what was bad. Everyone was trying to figure it out. People were hiding strategies. There wasn't an easy way to share strategies or builds. And in general, the knowledge was locked away in the brains of a select few top players who put the hours in to work it out. But even so, I would wager that if we held a tournament now versus in 2005, that the God picks would be vastly different. That being said, there were some clear standouts on that patch. Zeus, Uranus, Set, to name possibly the most strongest gods there. Pretty much everything else was pretty much unplayable to some degree or another. I wanted to include this patch as a point of reference because this direction of making certain gods leagues above the others and simply rotating them with drastic patch changes is something which other games have done in the past to some decent success. You just have to take League of Legends, for example, to see how that kind of plays out. Next in order is the Extended Edition patch. I like to call this patch the Jack of all trades, master of none, a patch aimed pretty much at fun. It went rogue and really tried to level out a lot of the game, making seemingly pointless technology somewhat useful, allowing certain units that didn't seem much use to have a use, and all around trying to make it feel like every decision you could possibly make in terms of unit choice, god choice was a correct one. This type of balancing has never really made sense to me. Everything in RTS should be situational and therefore should be rewarded for picking the right minor god for the situation presented. Beyond this, all the balancing and heading down this path in the world will still result in there being a path which is, at its root, the best. So it's simply a fool's game to continue down this path. Which leads us to the final patch, Voobly's 5.0 balance patch. This patch seems to me to be a focus on toning down the imbalances such that every god gets an opportunity to win. My bias is hot on display right here when I say this is what I want. I want to have a chance to win every game I play, whether it be that I need to hard control the third gold mine or I lose, or it be I need to defend for 25 minutes and then finally overpower my opponent, or I need to hit a timing that puts my opponent in a really difficult position to give me enough of an advantage to win. This type of balancing leads certain players down a very, very frustrating path because if you don't realize this is how the game works, then you find yourself losing games over and over and over again saying, man, it's just impossible. This god's busted. And then your opponent says, no, this god's busted. And then you say, yeah, well maybe that's true, but this god's busted as well. And then all the while, those who are aware say, man, if you just did X or Y in that game, you would have had a chance to win. That's RTS to me, and that's the path Retold balancing should head. I don't want a patch every month. I want an understanding of what is most powerful to be rewarded. I want a chance to win every game I play. So if we're going to head in that direction, start from balance patch 5.0 and make your changes from there. My hot take on this entire topic is that you really shouldn't be asking quote unquote experts for their advice in balancing. They're ridiculously biased, and it is on full display in the balancing that was done on the release of Extended Edition. if you remember back then, my golly gosh, it was a disaster to say the very least. If you want good balancing advice, you have to get people involved who are actively trying to play every civilization at the highest level. There are a few players that I can say off the top of my head. You've got like Shelty, Hagrid, Scardy, to name a few. There are a bunch of really, really strong kind of like 1800 level players who are playing all the gods at a decent level, who maybe could put their bias on a shelf and say, yeah, my main god could use a nerf in this area, or this god that I have trouble against is actually because I have a mental block here, and maybe I should buff that one or something like that. To wrap everything up, if you want to hear what my dictator patch would look like, leave a comment and I'll write up a changelog, which you will all surely disagree with. My name's Boit. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this type of video and want to see more like this, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.